Good evening. This is Judy Mario, and this is the World of Book Reviews. And tonight we are talking with Cheryl Green about her new book entitled Surviving to Thriving: How to Overcome Setbacks and Rock Your Life. Did I get it right?
You did.
Yeah, welcome, Cheryl. Good to have you
Thank
here.
you.
Your book is what we consider a self-help book. Is that correct?
I prefer the term personal development.
Okay. It's in the genre of personal development. And it's a really incredibly interesting book to teach us how to go from just surviving to really thriving in our lives. Cheryl, why did you write this book?
Because, 9 years ago, I had the rug ripped out from under me. Let's put it that way. My life was basically turned upside down, and I had to find a way to get through that and to actually make the most out of it. And I think at some point in everybody's life, you're gonna get knocked down. It's going to happen, whether it's job loss or family loss or divorce or disease or whatever it is. Everybody's gonna have that time in their lives that they're gonna need the help. And I did read every self-help book possible when I went through my divorce. And I wanted to be able to deliver that information along with my personal experiences so that people could learn from that and maybe have a slightly easier time with their, I call mine the shot heard around the world.
Yeah.
But so hopefully people could have an easier time when they're going through their
Yeah, because sometimes when we're going through problems, don't we think it's just us? We're all alone. It's nobody else has had this problem, and then we read a book like this and we realize, well, other people have been there too, and here's what she did. Maybe I can do the same.
And that's really one of the hallmarks of depression, is that feeling that you're all alone and that there's nobody else that understands you, that there's no hope, and that nobody can help you. And I want people to understand that there's always somebody that's been through your situation, no matter how unique it is. And everybody's felt those same feelings. Doesn't matter what you're going through, the grief and the pain and the emotional experience, it's not unique.
Yeah, and I thought it was interesting that you put in the book about the 5 different stages of grief and how to get through each stage, because sometimes we don't even realize we're in grief at the time. We think we're handling life just fine, and yet things are not really making sense, even though they seem to be making sense at the time.
The 5 stages of grief, and I mean, I can't take credit for that. That was Elizabeth Kubler-Ross, who talked about how everybody is going to go through the same different experiences while they're experiencing grief. But what I really wanted to say is that you should experience grief, because a lot of times we try and rush through that. We try and get to okay, no, this was a good thing, really. But you can't skip over those steps. You have to feel that pain. You have to feel that loss and that sorrow, because it will stay with you. It's not like you can just skip over to the good parts and everything's hunky-dory. You have to go through that, or you will go through it later on.
And so when you feel it and you go through it, that's then when you can heal it. Is that right?
And release it.
And release it. And so that's when you can really thrive instead of just surviving.
Yeah. And I mean, I've had that experience. I always try to look for the positive in things, and okay, no, it's okay that I lost my job, and oh, this is going to be good, but I skipped over that. Oh, this stinks. This is a really rough situation, and I loved this job, and I skipped over all of that. The mourning period. So I had to do it a year later. And if you think it's embarrassing to go through grief when you've just had the kick in the stomach, a year later is really embarrassing.
Oh. Well, I don't think we should be embarrassed by going through grief. It's a natural thing that we all have in our lives at some time or another, and the sooner we feel those feelings and experience it, the better off we're going to be. We're going to take a short break, and we'll be right back with Cheryl Green and talk to her some more about surviving to thriving. This is Judy Mario. We'll be right back.
Are you frustrated and wasting time searching for high-quality education and entertainment and not finding it? Stop wasting your time. We've got your solution. Our 3 dynamic and unique online TV shows provide you with high-quality and easy-to-find content. Everything from business skills and self-development to book and movie reviews and everything in between. At akexpertstv.com, you'll find high-quality experts in their field in one place at no cost to you. Visit www.akexpertstv.com today.
This is Judy Mario, and this is the World of Book Reviews. Thank you for joining us tonight. We're talking with Cheryl Green about her book, Surviving to Thriving, How to Overcome Setbacks and Rock Your Life. Now, what do you mean by rock your life?
Most of us are just kind of existing. Where I like to talk about comfort zone quicksand. It's that, well, everything's okay. You know, you're in a decent job and you're in a decent relationship, and yeah, you can survive this for the next 40 years until you die. It's fine. But there aren't a lot of people walking around that have that passion, that know that they're doing what they were put on this earth to do, that know they're with that person that they wake up every morning just excited to be with. So I think that's what I meant by rock your life. It's to live the life you want to live, you're meant to live, and it's the fullest expression of yourself.
But some of us are really kind of afraid to express ourselves. So how can we get past fear? What can we do to quit worrying about what other people think or what might happen and just go for it?
So I love the regret hangover, or I hate the regret hangover, I should say. There's this feeling when you've passed up on an opportunity, when you've shied away from doing something because you're too scared. There's that feeling the next morning, and I think I talk about it in the book, I'm not really sure. And one day I'm going to say this name and this guy's going to pop out of the woodwork. When I was about 14, I was in chorus and we did this like exchange trip with another school. And there was this guy, Alex Birnbaum. And I was so shy and I had no self-esteem and I didn't go up and talk to him. It's been, 20-something years? I still remember his name.
Wow.
Like, that is a regret hangover.
That's a real big hangover.
Seriously. So it's just that, how are you going to feel the next morning? If you don't do something, if you don't apply for that job, if you don't ask someone out or get divorced, who knows where you're at in your life. If you don't do it, how are you going to feel the next morning? And that's the regret hangover. And I just try to avoid that at this point. I always think, if I don't do this, how am I going to feel tomorrow? Am I going to be able to wake up and say like, not a big deal? Or 20 years later, is it going to be bouncing around in my head like Alex? So I think that's it. I mean, you just do it. There is no, you can do the wait 5 seconds and then go do whatever it is. You can do something else in the meantime. I do talk about it in my book. My mom, when she taught me to drive, I was afraid to get on the parkway. And she said, okay, you don't have to do that. Great, I got out of this, it's perfect. And then the next day we went driving and she said, okay, now you have to get on the parkway. So, I mean, there's those little tricks to get over it, but mostly it's just go do it, because how are you going to feel if you don't?
Yeah. And you might never have gotten on that parkway if she didn't make you do it the next day.
And I have many friends who have never gotten on the parkway.
Me too. Isn't that amazing? So, I have girlfriends that actually will drive from the north end of town all the way to the southeast end of town where I live and never get on the freeway once. They use the surface streets. Yeah. I'm just fascinated by that. They say, oh, I'm afraid to get on the freeway. And it makes me wonder what else they're afraid of in life, because getting on the freeway is not near as tough as getting on an airplane and going to the other side of the world or something.
Absolutely.
But it's amazing what we do to ourselves that we allow the fear to take over. And sometimes we sabotage ourselves as well. We're going to talk about some of that when we come back. We'll be back in just a few minutes with Cheryl Green and her wonderful book. And so if you'll join us back, we'll be more than happy to share some more great ideas from Cheryl's book.
Hi, I'm Jamie Lee Metz, CEO and founder of Skin Fitness here in Las Vegas. We've been serving Las Vegas for over 17 years. We're proud to announce we just won 2017 Spa of the Year by Image International. That's the skincare company of the Miss Universe pageant. We offer exclusive treatments like our Time Eraser facial, which uses multiple modalities and literally erases time. Our Pore Purge, which is the ultimate in hygiene, and our Fire and Ice facial, which literally removes and soothes the skin at the same time. Come see us at our new location here in Village Square. We look forward to seeing you soon.